What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be modifying Giulia again with some new parts, and I'm going to be showing you what this strut brace here is all about, and if it really improves the handling of your Giulia, or is it just a waste of money? Without further ado, let's get right into the video. If you're at all familiar with the Alfa Romeo Giulia, you'll know that there's no such brace in the car to be found, like as this one is. On an Alfa Romeo Stelvio, however, you do see something that bridges the two sides together, a sort of bar or strut brace. However, in the Giulia, again, this is nowhere to be found. So I thought I'd take a gamble, see what this kind of strut brace would do, and whether it really does improve the handling or not. But before we can get into that, we just need to take a second to thank today's sponsor, Modded Motors. If you guys aren't familiar with Modded Motors, they're another fantastic YouTube channel that specializes in Alfa Romeo content. Now, they're specifically known for modifying their Giulia and testing all sorts of crazy new parts on it to see whether it's worth your money and whether you can make a 2.0 base Giulia into something crazy and awesome like a Quadrifoglio. After just randomly contacting them for more information about a part they had listed, we got talking and they decided that they would love to sponsor my video since I'm making content with the Giulia. And because of that, they ended up sending me over this strut brace along with the GTA M style badges, which I put on in the last video, all for a great price. And I'm proud to say that they have sponsored today's video. And if you're looking for parts for your Giulia like these, or you just want some cool merch that has to do with car related stuff, be sure to go check out their shop, Modded Wear, to find awesome parts for the Giulia and all sorts of different cool t-shirts and stuff like that. I'll leave links in the descriptions to both their YouTube channel and their shop. They have amazing customer service. It was great working with them. They ship these out in a timely manner. They're just great people and they do great things with the Giulia and giving you content and information about these cars. They're like the #1 people. If you need any information about a mod or how to do something or fix something on a Giulia, I highly recommend you go check out their channel. So yet again, huge thanks to Modded Motors and their team. I can't thank you guys enough, and I hope this is the start of a very long friendship and partnership. So if you guys haven't already, please go check them out. Tell them that I sent you, and this is going to be a great time and a great partnership. And so without further ado, let's get right into this video. So they sent me the brace in this nice package here. It was all wrapped up nicely. Unfortunately, I did lose the footage already of me installing this, so I am just going to run you guys through how to install it, because there are a few tips and tricks that you need to know when you're putting this in. And I'll give you guys all the sizes for the bolts and stuff like that. But unfortunately, I can't just show you the process, as one, it was originally hard to film with just myself anyways, but I did end up losing some of the footage because filming on an iPhone is not the best thing to do. But I will show you how it is, and then I've yet to take the car for a drive with the brace on, so you'll get my initial reactions to see if this thing is really worth buying and if it does help to improve the handling. So let's get right into how you're going to install this thing and what materials you'll need. Alright, so as you can see, this is the strut bar here. Now, Modded Motors did send over this bar in the black color with their little branding finish on it, which I think looks really good and matches the engine bay very well. If you were to go check out their video, however, you would see that they had one in a kind of bright red finish that matches more of like the color of my paint. Now, again, that is personal preference. You could probably specify from them whether or not which color you wanted, but I do think the black looks really sleek here. Now, let's talk how much I ended up paying for this. Now, as you guys know, I did partner with Modded Motors, so I did get a bit of a discount. I paid $200 altogether for the bar and both the badges, but the bar does retail for about $250 to $300 if you were to go on another site like Madness Auto Works, or I believe Centerline Alpha also has something kind of similar to this. So if you were to go on those websites, you are going to end up paying a little bit more, but I have a feeling if you go through Modded Wear and Modded Motors, you're going to get a better deal here. I don't think that that's too bad of a deal, but we'll see how it feels when we're driving and whether it's totally worth it. Now, getting into the install. The bar comes with the bar itself and these brackets already bolted on and put together, so it's one big piece. The one thing you're going to want to be careful of is this strut brace is directional, meaning that this side could potentially end up on that side and vice versa. You have to be careful. If it's not fitting, don't force it, just twist it around and make sure that everything is sitting level. Now, the size bolts you're gonna need, it attaches right to the factory struts here. So this is the strut mounts for the car, and here you can see these other strut bolts. It's gonna attach right to these bolts, so you're not gonna need any new hardware or anything. It's just gonna use the existing factory. The size of these bolts are 13, so you're gonna need a 13 wrench for this. And if you need to take out this here, this bar will allow you to unscrew the bar from the mount itself. Those are size 15 on the back, and you're gonna need an Allen wrench here to hold it in place. And that's gonna be probably the biggest Allen wrench setting in a package that you're gonna get. So that's the sizes you need. Now, the best thing to do that I found is, because as you can see, there's a bolt back here, but it's under the bar, so it's kind of hard to get in there and torque it down. The best thing I saw to do was come over to the one side first, remove the bar so that the bar is hanging free. You just have the struts. Screw all of these screws in and get those tight first. Now, there isn't any torque specs or anything. Actually, from factory, these bolts here aren't really even screwed in all that tight. So just do it till it's nice and snug. You don't have to do any specific torque rating or anything that I know of. It seems to be just fine without it. Then once you have this mount screwed down, I remove this bar. You can lift it up. Now, this is better if you do have somebody else here to help you, but you still could do this yourself. So you lift up this bar. That way you can get to this side with everything clamped down. You want to make sure that this side, the strut brace is actually in the mount, because if you try to separate the bar, you just do the mounts first, the bar doesn't fit for some reason. I had to learn that the hard way. So you always want to make sure that the actual bar is into the mounts on one of the sides. So then once you do that, you can end up lifting up this bar to get to that last bolt in there, and then you screw everything down, screw this side back into the mount, and there you have it. You have a nice brace. I think it looks great too. It's not resting on the engine cover or anything like that. So if you put it on right, it won't affect any of the components. As you can see, there's still a gap here for heating elements to get through, and it doesn't affect the engine bay whatsoever. So this was kind of tricky. It did take me a little bit of time just to figure out which way it goes. And at first the bar wasn't fitting, but I figured out the best trick to do it is just to make sure that you're keeping this bar in one of the mounts at all times. You don't want to ever lift this bar out and just have the mount, because then the bar won't fit back in, if that makes any sense at all. If you need me to explain it more, I'd be happy to do so in the comments, but that is the process there. You can also go check out Modded Motors video. They also do a good job at explaining the best way to put on this bar. So it did take me a little bit. I did end up dropping a bolt almost in the engine bay, which would have been a disaster, but it turned out to be okay. So that's how you install this bar. I think it looks great, and I'm ready to test the capabilities of this thing. So if you're ready, I'm ready. I'm gonna take this, close this hood, clean everything up, and then we're gonna go for a drive and see just how good the Giulia handles with this new strut brace.
Sorry to interrupt the video again, guys, but we just need to take a sec to talk about YouTube memberships. I've recently become a partner with YouTube, and I now have memberships available for everyone. If you're not a YouTube member already with me, what are you doing? You're missing out on all sorts of perks and deals that you could be getting otherwise, like early access to all your favorite videos, partnering with me and speaking with me on social media, and even getting bonus content. And if you can't afford to pay monthly for a YouTube membership, no worries. You can support the channel another way by giving me a super thanks in the comments section. A one-time donation that you can spend any amount on, and it goes right towards the channel and back towards giving you guys quality content. So if you're not a member already, please consider joining. And don't forget to like and subscribe on this video so we can keep giving you more videos like this in the future. Thanks for listening, and now let's get right back into the video.
All right, so we are driving the Giulia, and I've been driving it just for a few minutes in the normal mode, just to get a feel of how this thing feels with the strut brace on when you're just kind of cruising around. And I can tell you right now, it does not feel any different when you're just cruising around, not putting this thing to its max limit. Really, you get the same kind of steering feel, same handling, nothing drastically changed thus far in just a kind of daily driving scenario. So I'm going to throw it into dynamic mode here. All right, so we're now in dynamic mode, and we're gonna start throwing it around some corners and see if we can really feel any difference with the Giulia in terms of handling and front end turning and all that good stuff. And as you can see there, we got a little squirrely on that turn on the exit, but I have to say, just from that one turn, now I'm gonna do a few more corners here and really test it, but it did feel like the front end wanted to turn in a lot faster than the rear end wanted to turn out. And it's probably due, now we have a tighter front end, along with that all-wheel drive, this thing just pulls you around a corner crazily. I mean, the Giulia already handled fantastic, and this definitely just helps the steering input to get a little more aggressive. So let's do a few more corners and really see what this thing is all about. And I can definitely feel pushing it around these corners an increase in just front end grip and turn in capabilities. Yeah, I mean, it's not the biggest difference in the world, but it definitely feels tighter. Like, this is how I would imagine a Quadrifoglio Giulia would handle. I mean, if we just, it's so stable, and it's just so willing to turn in, and it doesn't upset the car. Like I said before, I mean, the Giulia was already always willing to do that, but this just adds that slight bit of amplification. I mean, if we really push it around this corner here, you can hear change and all sorts of stuff sliding around in my car, because I mean, this car could pull a serious G now. It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. I definitely think this thing is worth the money. And I'm not sure if I mentioned this earlier, but the material that the actual strut brace is made out of, I believe, is some sort of aluminum composite, because it's very lightweight. It was very light getting it out of the box, but definitely felt rigid and very strong. And I think that is the most important factor when it comes to making some sort of strut brace to improve handling like that. You don't want to add weight to the vehicle, but you want to add rigidity and structure to the car as well. So I definitely think it does that. It tightens up the front end steering, especially like when I'm stopped here, and if I just go and kind of send it around a corner. Now I can't really push it full throttle around a corner just because it is only 30-something degrees outside and the ground is still frozen here, so I'm not trying to send myself into a ditch. But this thing, I'm sure if you were to pound it full throttle around a corner, I mean, this thing could do it. And I'd love to take this on a track now and some real curves just to see, because you're not really gonna get to the limit of the handling on just a street. I mean, you can push it, but if you really want to feel where this thing's gonna start letting go, the difference between stock and with the strut bar, you're probably gonna need to do it on some sort of closed course or a track. So, but you definitely feel it in high performance driving. I mean, the way that this thing is, so like, if you need to avoid a pothole, it's just crazy fast. It's razor fast now, and it's just even that much more precise than it was. All right, let's give it a few final good pushes around the corner here. All right, so what do I think about this? Do I think it's worth your money? Yeah, I think it is. I think if you got some extra cash to spend and you don't want to do all the time with the lowering springs and all sorts of that crazy stuff to improve your handling, I think this just gives you enough of that added sportiness, just that little sporty edge, without compromising the comfort or the convenience or the usability of this kind of daily driving setting of this car. Then I think this strut brace is going to be the thing for you to do. So it does a great job. It looks great under the engine bay. It's pretty easy to install once you get the hang of it, and definitely adds a nice level of added performance and handling to your Giulia. So Big thanks to Modded Motors again for partnering with me on this video and sending out this part. I can't thank you guys enough, and I can't wait to partner with you guys for more videos. And guys, if you did like this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe on my channel. We have all sorts of crazy things coming for this car, and all sorts of awesome things that I want to do as well. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll get you more awesome stuff. And then go over to Modded Motors channel, check them out, and tell them I sent you. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.